This is SANDCAST, everybody. We're with Toni Rodriguez, but for the last 5 minutes, we've just been singing the praises of Carly Khan and Hawaii. Finally got a Hawaii girl on tour.
Yeah, right. We should just hit record when we step into the studio. We miss out on a bunch of conversations.
What's happening, Tone?
Nothing much. Just excited to chat with you guys.
There we go.
Yeah.
Just talking volley.
Just talking volley.
You've had a busy year already. It's not even May, but you've hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, this past weekend was the first weekend of just kind of relaxing a little bit. I worked a clinic in Arizona, but I still had some like downtime, which was really nice. I played 3 weekends in a row, which is kind of a lot for the start of the season.
And it's not, you just played 3 weekends in a row. So Toni went from Australia, won a bronze medal, first FIVB ever, correct?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Travel buddy.
And then goes to Panama City, which is not easy to get to. And you didn't play the Norseca trial. So you took the weird Wednesday off.
Oof.
Panama City, and then you and Savvy make the semifinals and qualify.
Yep.
And then you go from Panama City to Brazil.
Straight to Brazil.
Beats Fernanda in the first round. And then you guys got screwed so hard against Germany. Yeah. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
I didn't hear about this. What happened?
Well, Toni was swatting everything, putting on a show. Blocks, I forget who it was, maybe Leverer?
I think it was the blocker. Yeah.
Blocks this ball, hits middle of the line. Down ref calls it in. Up ref, this is at 16-16?
This is, yeah.
In the third?
Yeah.
In the round of qualify.
I believe so, yeah.
And down ref calls it in, up ref calls it out. And so there's a new system in place where if the eagle eye challenge system isn't there, now players can tell the up ref, like, I'm challenging, and they have to get off the stand and check the mark. But Zana didn't know it. And so Zana was just arguing with the ref, and she was like, you can see the mark. Because, if I'm the up ref, I mean, it was here.
Oh, what?
Like, close.
Yeah, it was so close. It was like I blocked it, and it from off this hand all the way to that sideline.
Right, got you.
Yeah.
And so the up ref is like, was telling Zana, he said, you need to challenge for me to look at it. And Zana was like, yeah, look at it. I don't know. And he was like, no, you need to put your hand in a C. And she was like, okay, go. And he was like, sorry, you're 5 seconds to challenge this pass. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And so Zana had an argument with him after. And she was like, why didn't you just get down? He goes, I did make the wrong call. He's like, the ball was in, but you needed to challenge. That's obscene.
Yeah.
Wait,
that a ref would acknowledge
the rule change didn't say that you can't get off if you want to look at it, right? The ref can get off the stand to look if they want to look at it still, right?
I would think so.
Or no?
Or
does the player have to do it within 5 seconds?
But it was bizarre.
1.
It was very bizarre.
2.
It was, he's like up there counting. Yeah.
He should do that.
I was just like.
He should be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly,
that one hurt. Yeah.
It should have been 3 very successful weekends in a row.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, beating a very good Brazil team in Brazil, still, even though losing like that in the last round of the qualifier sucks, but still, badass playing on so much travel, no sleep, food's weird.
Food's weird. I feel like food's weird.
Yeah, for real. Early on, getting just confidence wins, not necessarily good finishes, but those confidence wins are like, oh yeah, I can hang on tour. I just needed to know that.
Yeah.
To have 3 events in a row where you kind of prove something in each one, it's got to be pretty big for you.
Yeah, I think starting it off in Australia was super exciting. I definitely had the nerves, going into it. I was like, I don't really know what to expect from the competition. And then obviously getting to play with Zana was so awesome, and she was such a great teammate and helped me work through those nerves. So it was good to kind of start there and kind of fill out the competition. What does the international play look like exactly? And then to finish with a bronze was just light years what I thought, above what I thought we would do, which is awesome. And then going to Panama, getting to play with Savvy, I think it was just really fun, and we had been looking forward to that. And so we played some good people. It was super windy, right, on the first day, which was interesting. It was actually great because in Australia we played in
tropical storm.
It was crazy. It was 20 mile per hour plus in Australia, so it was nice that I got all that training, and then going into Panama I was kind of prepared for that already, and then in Brazil, playing with Zana again, I felt like less nervous. Even though we were at a higher level event, right? We were at the Challenger. I felt like super calm and relaxed because I was like, okay, I've already done one international event. Like, I'm okay now. Like, I feel like good, like prepared, ready to go. And so, I mean, it was a really good experience. Looking back at Brazil, I think we played well.
You played awesome.
It was kind of funny. My mom called me a couple days later and she's like, I found the stats. I'm like, where? Like, how did you know where to find the stats, Mom? Like, I'm confused. And she's like, you had 13 blocks in 2 matches. Like, that's awesome. I was like, cool, Mom. I'm glad you're like keeping up.
That is a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swatting.
Yeah, it was. I was like I felt like me and Zana had played well, but like sometimes it takes me a couple days to like really go back and like dive into the film and like really watch.
Yeah.
Because that one really hurt. That loss kind of really hurt because I was like super looking forward to like making it into that main draw. But like after looking back, like I thought we played well and I thought we fought hard. So at the end of the day, there's good takeaways. So.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I thought you guys played awesome. And,
I think
and to beat Fernanda, I mean, she is really good.
Yeah.
You guys, like, your draw was pretty brutal.
That's
Fernanda.
what I heard. I was like, I know no one, so going into everything, I'm just like,
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
like.
And then the
just her
German
play.
team.
It's a good thing.
The German team took 5th.
Yeah, they played well.
Yeah.
They played well.
Sorry, what were you saying, Troy?
No, like when you don't know them and they don't know you, it's like great.
It's just like
good.
fun to just
Yeah.
like go out there and like just be competitive and like
Yeah.
just compete and like just play. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Love
It was kind of funny. In the first game, when we were in the 3rd set, the only person that I saw in the stands was Ed, and he was just like firing up, and I'd be ready, like getting ready, like to block, and all I see is like Ed. And he's like, "Let's go, let's go." I'm like, "You're right, Ed. Let's go, let's go." It was awesome. I was like, "Thank God for Ed."
He's the USA cheerleader. The only guy that travels with us all around the world.
I loved it.
He's everywhere.
He is. He is. He's
What
great.
made you want to hit the international scene so early? Because that's something that I feel like not a lot of younger players on either the guys or the girls side tries to do until they get a couple years on the AVP under their belt. But you hit it early.
Yeah, I think it was kind of intimidating going in because I haven't done anything on the AVP yet. Last year that was a goal of mine to qualify for the 3 events. I didn't. I think I played with good people. I just like never fully got there.
Yeah.
And so I think this past off season, like I set my goals and I knew what I wanted to do. And obviously, like playing in the Olympics is a goal of mine. And so in order to do that, like you have to play internationally. And like I've talked to so many people and like I'm trying to figure out the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all kind of like over here just like sitting around, not really knowing what to do. But after talking to so many people, like fully understanding like that's what I had to do, like, and that's what I want to do. And so when Zana asked me to play in the first 2 events, I was just kind of like, yeah, let's do it. Like, this is like what I want. And for you to be asking me to do it, like I'm super stoked and excited. And I think it was just a really good experience as well, like I said earlier. And so I feel like it's already kind of prepared me for what's next to come. But yeah, I mean, I have big goals and I know I'm new, but I think I can do it, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm trying to at least. So.
Yeah, I think there's no better way than to, first of all, take a step down that road towards your goal, but also like just playing, like if you want to be a good volleyball player, just jump into the fire,
Yeah.
Like start playing as much of the high level as you can. Because being on the AVP, it's not really a full-time job yet. They haven't really made it so it's a full-time job yet. If you're on the World Tour too, like you don't have time for anything else. You basically kind of have a 9 to 5-ish job, and that's what you want it to be. Like, the goal is to make this a full-time job. And when you first come out, it's definitely not. Like you can't survive off it for too long.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to go. If you want to be somewhere, just start living that lifestyle and playing that way, and then you'll end up there.
Yeah, I definitely want this to be my job.
Right.
I mean, obviously everyone knows we don't make a lot of money, and so I do have a couple side hustles, but ultimately like volleyball is like what I want to focus on, and
Well, it can be
do.
full time.
Yeah.
It is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You've done it full time for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Trying to hang on to that. It's pretty nice. You can't go back.
That's the toughest part. Like once you get it, you're like, this could be it. I can't. There's no going back now.
I still complain though. I'm still like, oh, we used to make better money back in the day. What happened to Grand Slams and Opens?
Yeah.
The grass is always greener.
Yeah.
We need the tour to be bigger.
That was what was crazy about when I was looking at the prize money breakdown when we were in Mexico, because we were with Brandy and Sophie Bukovic. And so they take fifth into Pema, and they split like $3,200. And Logan and Sean won Panama City and split like $3,400. It's like, so you can win an AVP next, not even like a real AVP, and you can make more money than someone getting fifth on the planet.
Yeah, but that's the problem. The problem is these challengers aren't supposed to be the best events in the world, but now they are, because they had their schedule out. Everyone complained for good reason. And now the challengers are the best events again. Like, this is what was wrong with the star system. Right? We were playing in 4 stars were our best events, and then like 2 stars.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I think the best they're only allowing the top teams through the end of World Champs qualification, I think. So I think that's over. Like after Turkey,
that's
I think
only
the top
8
6,
teams, right?
top 6 or top. I think it's just top 6.
Top 6. Okay, it doesn't really change much.
True.
The top 6 already aren't playing much.
And
right?
plus, Russia can't play still, so they're still out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How did the playing internationally differ from your expectations, or if it met them? Or I don't even know if you would have had any expectation of what it would even look like.
Yeah, I really didn't have any expectations. The only thing I knew was that the travel was going to be gnarly.
Yeah.
Like, that was really the only thing that I kind of knew.
Yeah.
But, once you're getting there, the setup and everything, it kind of, it all, looks the same, obviously. And then, the way everything's run, it all kind of felt similar to, domestic tournaments. So,
Yeah.
I don't think there was many
How's the jet lag?
differences. It actually wasn't too bad. We actually, me, Travis, and Timmy traveled together, which was so nice to do my first trip with people that I'm comfortable with, and
Right.
I was texting Tim. I was like, I'm gonna need support. Okay, so you're gonna have to be there for me in case I need you. But yeah, it was good. We got into some lounges. Thank God for
game changer
for Tim. He got us some free food and some good places to relax and in between. But I didn't think the jet lag was too bad. Yeah, no. Once we got there, it was rainy. That was kind of but then it cleared up in Australia.
Had you traveled internationally just at all before?
The only place I've ever traveled to before that was Turks and Caicos for volleyball vacations, which was in December. Yeah. And then other than that, I've never left the country. Wow. So it was really cool. Yeah. For sure. It was awesome. So yeah, that was I kind of count that as my first one.
Turks and Caicos. Caribbean's kind of just
yeah. It wasn't that far, you know. Right. I flew to Florida or wherever, maybe Washington, and then straight there. Right. Versus Australia, we flew from LAX to
Fiji,
which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that Fiji airport was funny. It was 2 gates.
Yeah,
that's what I
was so
thought.
Little.
Yeah.
It was so little.
Yeah, so we flew from LAX to Fiji, and then Fiji to
Sydney
to Coolangatta.
Yeah.
And then it was weird. The jet lag wasn't too bad because the time difference was so big that it wasn't that bad at all. Mm-hmm. It was an 18-hour jump.
I guess that makes sense.
And so
I see what you're saying.
It was really
so it came back.
So it was really just more 6 hours.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because we were just so it was.
I always forget 18 hours isn't as bad. Is way better than 12.
Yeah.
12's the worst you can get.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it wasn't terrible, but you played great off on those travel legs because it takes a second to figure out how to play and eat and just get everything right after traveling for a long time.
Definitely.
You guys killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did well. I had this app that I got.
You were
I was on the app. I was hardcore on the app. I can't remember. I think it was Time Shifter or something where I plugged in my like flights.
Right.
And then it basically told me
When to sleep.
when to be drinking caffeine, when to, you know, be out of the sun or in the sun.
Huh.
So I tried to be on it.
I might have to download that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It was good. Yeah, it worked.
She was funny. She was like, you shouldn't be drinking that coffee right now.
I'm like, we have to be asleep from this time to this time on the plane, okay? And they're like, we're just gonna sleep the whole time. I'm like, okay, cool.
But the app says.
But the app said, it said not to do it.
Yeah, Australia's a cool place for you to travel to for an international trip because it is a long travel, but the currency's easy. Everyone speaks English, so it's still not too bad. And then Brazil is a very different experience because it's almost all Portuguese and very broken English.
Yeah. I learned one word. Obrigado.
Oh, there you go.
Obrigado for a boy. Obrigada for a girl.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Every trip, you add another word, maybe.
Oh, and then good morning. Bom dia. Bom dia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should speak Portuguese already by now with my whole coaching staff being.
You and Trevor have a handful of fun words.
Yeah, only the fun ones though.
Only the ones we can't say on this podcast.
Exactly.
Although I guess who knows what language you guys are going to have to speak next, Jose? Just abandoning
We
the
have no
boys.
idea. Yeah.
Man.
Coach switch. Yeah. Honestly, we were like trying to figure it out, and it was so frustrating. We're like, oh, screw it. Let's just go play in Austin.
Yeah.
We got Danny Alvarez. Belly Dig's coming out.
Love it.
Carly Khan's coach. He's flying out.
Okay. Awesome.
He coaches her in Hawaii, and then he's going to fly out to be in her box. And we're like, hey, since you're there, jump in our box. Because he's known us like our whole lives, but he's been helping us in the off season. So.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's perfect.
We got a coach.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think having a coach in the box is important?
I mean, it can be great. It can hurt you too.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for our sport in general. Like it's 3 heads working to play better volleyball. I think they should have it internationally too.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I think that it's heading that direction.
I don't know why. I think they think that some certain countries weren't able to afford coaches or have as good coaching, so now it's an advantage for the top teams. So it seems like our sport tends to just like try to pull everyone back.
That's just
so,
doesn't. I mean,
just so the smaller countries can.
It doesn't.
hang.
It's a professional sport. You know, like.
Well, the whole goal of FIVB was like we want to spread it worldwide, right?
Yeah.
It's spread.
So they spread the cream cheese real thin.
It's spread.
They spread the cream cheese so thin there's no good bites. They're all
like
just you just get like a little sample. You're like, I kind of taste it, but it's not worth being a full-time fan. Whereas like if we just give them one good bite of the cream cheese, maybe the fans would buy in. And then we pull it out from them.
That's amazing though that would be the reasoning, because that would be like the Lakers saying. Or the Bucks, not a major market, telling the Lakers, sorry, you can't only have 2 assistants because we're a smaller market. We can only afford 2, so you can't have 3.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's a professional
crazy.
sport.
Oh well, the successful sports do the exact opposite. Like, well, if you want to pay more, then we'll tax you, but you can still do it. Just pay more.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Economics.
Yeah.
Craziness.
You'll learn. You'll learn the drama.
Are you and Sav working with the coach?
We're not. We, I think that's kind of our next steps now that we're full-time together and able to like start really like dialing in on like our partnership. Is the next phase is like finding a coach.
Yeah.
So,
on the road, I think one of the biggest things is having someone to warm you up or to train you. Like there's nothing more frustrating than like you throwing backspin balls. Or like, this is like a real serve receive off a jump serve.
Yeah.
And then you having to go hit it. You're like, God, I feel like such an amateur right now. Like, throwing spinning balls for my partner to set.
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest thing, to be honest, on the road. You can do your film. You can game plan. They can't be in the box with you anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I'm tired or my ankle hurts or something and they go grab you something. It's just so nice to have
have another
someone
body
out there. And then training-wise, having another mind kind of putting everything together so you don't have to worry about it as much. You can put more focus into just playing, absorbing the information in front of you, and then rehabbing and like recovering, getting your body to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to worry about in our sport, as you know already.
Yeah.
Like booking your own travel and
Definitely.
this and that and scheduling things.
There's plenty of things to worry about.
Yeah, so if you can have a coach
Plenty.
help get... Also, another thing a coach does is you get pretty sick of your teammate traveling around the world, jet lagged, tired, winning, losing, like riding the highs and lows of the year. It's nice to not have to go to your teammate and be like, you're sucking right now. I'm going to call you out and be like, coach, I think they're maybe sucking right now. And then the coach goes like, hey, what do you think about this, that, blah, blah. And your teammate doesn't even know that you're mad at them. And you stay on a good page, you're on the court, and you both hate your coach for a little bit, you know? And instead of hating each other.
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
a time
so
and a place
close.
for
One of
that.
the best wins is when you're thinking something like, why is he doing this? And then Jose or whoever is just like, hey, why are you doing this? And you're like, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
coach.
you're like,
Yes,
I
tell him.
I know I can't say it right now because it just will make things worse. But he can. Yeah, exactly.
How did you and Sav end up together? And I think that's another thing that you're doing that's unusual for a younger player is that you're coming in, like you're traveling right off the bat, and you're coming in with a partner. Obviously, you and Zana played the internationals because Zana had points. There's no way you could have gotten into an event, but now like you and Savvy seem to be pretty set moving forward.
Yeah. So last season for the AVPs, I did reach out to her asking her to potentially play in some, and then I know we only had 3 events, so it wasn't like a lot, but then she said she already had partners, so she was playing with Lexi Denenberg. She was supposed to play with Lexi for all 3, because that's who she played with in college, right? That makes complete sense. And so that's kind of when I went to other people and kind of was like, okay, I want to find other partners, whatever. And then she actually told me that once Lexi dropped her for Maria, that she was going to ask me, but then she already saw me signed up with a couple people. So I was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. But on the back end, I ended up asking her to play in Clearwater last October for the AVP next. And she actually had this trip to Hawaii, a potential trip to Hawaii. And she told me that, and she's like, I don't know if I can play. And I was like, oh my God, please, just give me a chance. Please play with me. I didn't tell her that, but I was just like, okay, let me know. And then she finally was like, yeah, let's play. I didn't really know her, but I met her in Chicago. Well, I didn't meet her in Chicago, but we finally hung out in Chicago. I met her in college. Yeah. But hung out in Chicago, loved this girl's vibes. I already knew she was an upbeat person, and you could just tell that on the court, right? She's super good teammate, positive, smiling, and that. I mean, they were all attractive things. When looking for a partner, I like those type of things. So I was kind of I feel like we could really get along, not just partners, but as friends. And so we decided to play in Clearwater, and by then we were already becoming friends and getting closer and closer. And then playing in Clearwater, looking at the bracket and realizing that we had to play Kristen and Taryn in one of I think it was the 3rd round. Yeah. We were like, okay, let's do it. Let's freaking play. And so ended up beating them, which was legit. And then we just had really good chemistry on the court. It just flowed, positive, having fun. I think that's one of the biggest things about me and Savvy is I know for me, I enjoy the sport and I have a passion for the game, but I don't want to do this if it's not fun.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's something with the juniors game. It's getting so serious now with colleges and all of that. And sometimes we all forget it's about having fun. We play the sport because we love it and we want to do it and we want to enjoy it. And so that's one of my biggest things. And so knowing that that's what Savvy wanted too, and then after Clearwater having a lot of success, we got 3rd. Having that success, it was okay, this could actually be a thing. And then sitting down, talking about what we actually want to accomplish, within our careers, all lining up. And so we started training when we got back, and this like preseason was kind of hard. Like we've trained a lot, but like not really like consistently.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really know why, but things were kind of like we were trying to figure out if we wanted to play together because it was like rookie and rookie basically, like two new people coming fresh out of college. I think we were both trying to decide like, do we want to play with veterans or do we want to like play together and like figure it out and like work and build together, or do we want to like go and experience and like learn from like maybe top people or like other people that have like been on tour.
Yeah.
And so then we kind of like finally decided, okay, like no, we don't want to play with anyone else. We want to play with each other. And then that's kind of how the partnership started. And now it's been kind of like up and down with like me playing internationally, not with her. But like I said, Zana was a great partner, and she had points, and we had agreed on playing, and I didn't think it was possible for me and Savvy to get into the FIVBs with 0 points, but clearly it was possible. Obviously, we all saw Kristen and Taryn go.
Anyone did.
Yeah.
Kristen and Taryn were on here like tripping, like, yeah, we don't know if we're gonna be able to play this year at all. Like, that's basically what they made it sound like, right?
Yeah, I mean, but that's what everyone made it sound like, right?
That's what I thought too.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's been like a little bit up and down, but we're finally at a point where we can like start really building as a team. And I think we're both super, like, just like the anticipation has just been super killer. And so now that we're like finally able to come together, and now we're like looking for coaches, and we're going to start looking for sponsors together, and it kind of feels like it's all coming together, which is like really nice.
Right.
We won't have a coach in Austin for the first AVP, but I mean, I think we'll be able to still be successful.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of how it's going, and we're really good friends, and love that girl. I love that girl.
Just love the honeymoon phase.
I think we've had to have some really tough conversations.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, already like with the international stuff. For a while, I was Emily Stockman's practice player on Fridays. And so, like, that was kind of getting, like, mixed up and stuff. And, yeah, I mean, we've already had tough conversations. And the fact that, like, we both trust each other so much already, it's definitely helped the partnership. But I do think that there will be a time when we probably get tired of each other a little bit during the season. So we'll figure that out, and we'll balance it. And
what's the next? So we have Austin coming up, and then what's the next international for you guys? Because Savvy's she's going to go to La Paz.
Yeah, so she's been playing in the Norsecas with Megan Gebhard.
Yeah. I can't keep track of anyone anymore.
Come on, you got to get with it. The newbie.
Her, but this is my partner. She's just playing with her. But, so all right. I've played with two people in 10 years.
Well,
So I get it. I know everyone's on that grind. It's just funny.
Everyone's trying to get points. And
for sure.
It just didn't seem smart for me to play 4 weekends in a row versus 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't play the Norseca, and that was like, that kind of sucked because I really did want to play with Savvy in that, but I was like I split off and we got points. Like, you split off, go get points, and we'll come together.
Yeah.
So she'll be playing in the
La Paz.
Yeah, so that's the weekend after Austin, right?
Yeah.
And then when she gets back from that, we're headed to San Antonio for the New Orleans qualifier.
Yeah.
So playing that, and then we hope to do well.
Hopefully New Orleans,
which is awesome.
But that would be fun for you to play in New Orleans.
Yeah, it would be really fun to be home in Louisiana and have some people come out and get to visit and compete in my home state. That'd be legit.
The list is out, right, for New Orleans?
Yeah, it just came out.
Did everyone sign up?
Everyone.
Yeah.
But that's going to change because...
I was thinking people would go to the Elite 16 event, but I heard it's getting canceled.
Well, that was a rumor. Now it's saying that it's confirmed. But,
rumor has it.
But then someone else said that the actual guys from Czech are like, no, it's not confirmed.
Yeah.
Oof.
But like FIVB is saying it. I don't know. But I think the reason everyone signed up is like, yeah, we're going to sign up and we're going to pull out if it doesn't happen. So I think there'll be a major shakeup. My guess is, like, if I had to put odds on it, I'd say there's a 75% chance it's going to happen.
That a couple people pull out?
that the Elite 16 is going to happen.
Oh, the
and
Elite
that
16.
at least 5 teams are going to pull out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
think?
for sure.
100%.
That's the one event this year it sounds like everybody's like, yeah, no, FIVB is the priority for that one.
Really?
That's
Okay,
like,
cool.
That
Oh.
should be the most watered down event of the year.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
it makes sense because then right after that, you're already in Europe, so you go to Yarmala.
Exactly.
And then you go from
Yeah.
Yarmala to World Champs.
Yeah, if you're going
Okay.
to play in Latvia, you might as well just be there and play.
Yeah.
Get 2.
Played 2 in a row,
Elite
yeah.
16s in.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I think we're 16 on the list right now.
So yeah, you're golden.
Well, what happens though
yeah.
is that when the list is confirmed, I don't know when, it'll only take the top 12.
No,
and
top
then,
10.
then it
Wait, what?
or top 10.
Are you sure?
And then the list, so if people pull out, it doesn't just fill in with people.
Oh, yeah, it
off,
goes-
so
yeah.
it'll go to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And so more
San
people will
Antonio.
qualify from the San
Oh, I see
Antonio.
what you're saying.
They'll just take more people from that
Yeah.
because it's only the top 4 for that. So if people pull out, it'll just be a
It'll
couple
just
more.
trickle down to like
I
5,
need to
6,
look
7.
at what is the lower one called?
Tour series.
Tour.
The one in San
Pro
Antonio is an
is a
AVP
tour.
next
Oh, that's a next.
because they didn't have tour series for the first 2 pros.
It's basically a tour series.
Yeah, basically.
Is there AVP first, AVP next, AVP tour, AVP pro, Gold Series?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's all still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still a
I
thing.
was kind of confused with
Still a thing.
tour and next were kind of confusing me.
Yeah.
I kind of thought
Yeah.
they were taking the place.
Yeah. Well, so
I think they just didn't make tour they just didn't make tour series for the first 2 AVPs. So they just
I think that the trend is like if we're gonna have fans in this sport, we gotta confuse the shit out of them.
yeah.
yeah,
So
for
like
sure.
AVP's
For
like,
sure.
yeah, we gotta get on that. Let's make 7 levels and confuse even the players.
Now we need the
Because
AVP Silver Series.
FIVB is killing us in terms of confusing fans.
We need max confusion.
yeah.
And then at the end
we
we'll
do.
have a final.
Yeah.
But it's not the championship or the final. It's just 8 teams. So who wins? No, nobody wins.
No one
Yeah.
wins.
Well, what about who wins the final? No, that's
No.
just,
It's just
you just win
thing.
that.
That's a thing.
Okay, sweet. So
It's so funny, like trying to explain this stuff because like I'll have listeners from the podcast be like, "I understood it," and now I definitely don't understand it.
they all thought everyone listening right now is like, "Wait, I thought I had it, but
I'm
now,
still confused."
Now I'm gone."
Yeah.
That's what they want.
But we'll be playing. We thought about playing in Lithuania for the Futures event, but then it's just kind of like, eh. So we decided not to do that.
Yeah.
And I think our next international, which will be our first together, which is super exciting, will be at the end of June. There's there's actually 3. There's
Yeah.
one in Poland, and then there's one in Greece and Italy the same weekend. So we're thinking about going to Poland and then probably Italy. Since
Okay.
we'll already be over there, we want to do both.
Yeah.
Sounds like vacation.
Yeah,
Greece and
I
Italy.
mean,
Yeah.
might
bad.
So nice.
do a little vacationing. Probably not. They're actually
Hopefully
really
not.
close together. They're
Hopefully
really
you're
close.
winning, so there's no
hopefully,
time to
hopefully we're
vacation.
just playing volleyball.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's like, "What'd you do in Australia and Brazil?" I'm like,
Win.
"I played volleyball." Like,
Cooked and
Yeah,
played
right.
some
I'm like,
cards.
didn't see any kangaroos, which is one of the biggest things I wanted to see, but that's okay. So yeah, those will be the next. Those will be the probably next 2, and
Yeah.
then by that point, we're hoping to have enough points to get into the 2 challengers in July. That's going to be the goal.
Gotcha.
So,
At this point,
So.
you guys could sign up for challengers and get in. There hasn't been a single women's challenger that's filled up.
oh yeah, then there you go. So
So many
Yeah.
teams drop out. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
That's the trick.
yeah, because I got for my 2 tournaments, now have 270 points,
Nice.
and then I think Savvy just got 113 going
Yeah.
in the Norseca.
Yeah.
So
The
it's good
Norseca points are pretty legit.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, really,
Especially because
legit.
Norseca, I mean, it's very easy to get points there.
Yeah,
Because it's just,
Yeah.
it's nuts that so Sam and Dan were talking about it, how you split like 320 if you win a Norseca, which is better than breaking pool in a
Dollars?
challenger. Pretty much.
Or do they get less?
Pesos.
Right.
You get paid 1 Mexican beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It is funny though. Like, I was talking to Delaney about it when I got home. She goes, "Oh, you got good points." I was like, "What am I gonna do with these things, Delaney?" I can't take these to the bank.
Yeah. You got points.
What are these points
Yeah,
for?
I got great points to get.
Buying my points at this point. Like, spent X amount of money for 200 points. Yeah.
Oh, it's so depressing to do the dollar per point ratio.
Yeah.
I'm such a point hater right now.
Yeah.
Sorry I haven't been on tour.
And you're
Oh my
getting,
gosh.
what are you
You're
getting me
getting
on
me on
board
Oh my
with
gosh,
that?
I know.
I'm like, I'm just sick of chasing points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slid 10 spots in the world ranking or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe more, right? What am I now? Like 22?
You're at 22 or 24.
We were 10.
Well,
Got a 9th, which is whatever. You're not supposed to slide. We didn't move that far that week.
Right.
And then we moved 12 spots back without playing.
Wow.
In challengers.
wow.
You're in a cool spot though because all your finishes now you're pretty much just adding.
Really?
Because
I don't know.
well, yeah, I mean, because the
'Cause
new
it's all
points,
star
the new
system.
point system is
Travis
so much,
knows.
it's so much
Yeah,
bigger.
no.
He knows.
Like I said, I hate points. I hate
Yeah.
calculating them.
I
looking at
don't.
them, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
Points
like,
are just. Ugh.
points are the worst.
Trevor's pretty good at it though.
Yeah, that's
I think
why I
he's
let him
kind of
do
on
it.
top of it. Yeah,
Usually
then
you
I'm
let
like-
him be on top of it.
But I don't trust him that much, so I'll like ask Ed Keller, I'm like,
Yeah.
can you check my guy? I don't want to do it. I'm so
Ed-
lazy that I
Ed's
want to
the
do it,
man.
but like check. Is he right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard to do that stuff. I hate it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is.
if you guys qualify in New Orleans, that would be awesome because it's like you, Evan, Kristen,
Yeah.
and Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see like what's happening in Louisiana.
Yeah,
For
really.
like
Just
the more
blowing up.
promising
Just
people
blowing
coming
up.
up. It's awesome.
It is awesome. I mean, I've known Evan for a little while, and I mean, I didn't know him like way back, but met him in Louisiana, down in New Orleans. I'm from Santa Maria, which is about like an hour away. It's kind of like the midpoint between New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Okay.
He's like
So-
20 minutes out of
Yeah.
New Orleans, right? That's what
Yeah.
he said, something
Yeah.
like that.
He's like a 5-minute drive to Coconut Beach,
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
which is where the AVP's at. So,
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
but yeah, I mean, it's growing. Game's growing. I mean, Louisiana volleyball has been on the rise. It's still, I mean, still underdeveloped, but we are kicking down there
Yeah.
in the South.
So Evan obviously played at Coconut. Where did you play, or did you play beach? Growing up?
I did not play beach growing up.
Really?
I started beach in 2019 of the spring at LSU.
Really?
Yeah.
What year were you in 2019 then? Was that your, like, yeah, you have a complicated system. Toni has like 6 different colored shirts. She's like a red shirt
Yeah.
and then a gray shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
That's
in,
confusing me
yeah,
too nowadays.
I was in college for 7 years.
Well, that's a new record.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure Tina has been there for like 7 though. I don't. All
Toni
right.
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, basically. So in 2019, that was my 5th year.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And
was
so-
my 5th year. Yeah.
So you had a full season, the weird COVID year.
I had
then a full
a sorry, did I say fall earlier? I meant spring. 2019 spring. So I had one competitive season. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have a training
Yeah.
period. So I went my last year of indoor and then flipped to beach.
Okay.
And then, so we're going to just kind of fast forward a little bit, but got injured in college, tore my ACL, was thinking about being a crossover my second
Okay.
year at LSU. Thinking about being a crossover, got injured, couldn't play. So after that season, that 2019 season of beach, I was like gung-ho. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I just want to play. Like, I love beach. Like, indoor will always be my first love. But beach is like different, and it was like something new, and I was like, yes, like I just want to do this. And so I ended up filing for a medical red shirt
Okay.
with the NCAA, and they granted it to me, which is like pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So that's how I got a 6th year. So then I got a full training. I had a full fall, and then that was going into 2020,
The COVID.
and then COVID hit.
COVID shirt.
So then I got a COVID shirt. So
How was that for you? Like, were you really ready to be gone with college, or were you okay with it? Like, happy with the progression?
I'm definitely like glad I'm out of
Now you're
college.
done,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like, I could not be there right now.
I couldn't do a
Yeah.
5th, or I was like
Yeah.
trying very hard to get out in 4.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Yes. I'll just say it. Everyone's like, oh my God, like what, why? But I just like, one, I love LSU. Grew up like watching all sports. Like I have baby pictures in LSU clothes. Like it's home. Like it was like always been home. And so I always say this to everyone, but I bleed purple and gold. Like that is like this is my school.
Go Vikings.
Yeah. Yes. Two, like I'm gonna be honest. I forgot what we're talking about.
LSU.
Beach. LSU. Sorry.
Just
long
being at
long
college
day.
for a long time.
Long time.
Our fans on the podcast, they all know. They've heard me do that like a million times.
I'm like, I'm going somewhere. Where to? I don't know.
That's why we have Travis here.
But anyways, like playing for LSU has been like a dream, and then getting to play beach alongside of indoor like was just like the cherry on top. I think staying in college for 7 years isn't like ideal, but I got a bachelor's and 2 masters, and I didn't have any debt coming out of college, and so that's like really, really awesome that my coaches were able to provide me with scholarship.
Definitely.
And I actually walked on to LSU, so I earned scholarship as I was there, which is really cool. I earned it in indoor.
Your parents are extremely proud.
Yeah, my parents
are like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pricey, or I don't know. Is it pricey?
I think LSU States can't be that bad.
It's not too bad, but I actually had TOPS, which is like the Louisiana State Financial. Like it's the financial. It's like what helps you.
Gotcha.
So you take your ACT, and then depending on your score, they provide you with so much money to pay for your tuition. So I had TOPS throughout my whole college career. So, but yeah, I think. It wasn't ideal, but I loved beach so much that I went back for the 6th year because I could have started my professional career. I wanted to go play indoor overseas, but with my body, it just didn't seem right. I've torn both ACLs. I tore one in high school, one in college. So
beach is where
beach is where you need to be. Beach is where I needed to be, and so I was kind of like, yes, I'd love to go play internationally, overseas, indoor, but this sport is like so fun, so new. And like I just want to keep playing, and so when I got the 6th year, I was like so stoked, and I was like, yes, this will be the year. And then we had blockers 6 foot plus across the board, right? Like it was our year, right? Like when COVID hit, we were number 1 in the country. Already beat UCLA twice, and so obviously the fairy tale season ending like that really sucked, but then. Being granted another year, I was like, okay, like kind of seems meant to be. Like I wouldn't be getting this if it didn't feel right. And so I took it, and I mean, it wasn't the ending we wanted, but I think a lot was learned in the last season that I was there. So
What did you take away?
I think when you are thrown with a lot of adversity, like. You have to be able to adapt and change. And like, I've already experienced that with all of my injuries.
Yeah.
And so going into that season, it was a little bit different, right? We changed our lineup up. And so we had to kind of adapt to that as a team, right? I mean, Claire and Kristen playing for 4 years, and then, Taryn being able to step into that role and play with Kristen. And so that was a change throughout. And then, just with COVID, all of it was so weird. It was just so weird, like getting tested all the time and not feeling like you could even hang out with your team. It was like, it was just weird. Like we didn't have a lot of social events, and then, like a lot of people thrive on social, you know, and so not having that.
Honestly, when I look at college and I'm like
how?
That was college. It was like the parties and all that. Like, and I heard people getting like, busted majorly for having parties and whatnot. Like I get, but it's like these kids are gonna explode.
Yeah, it was so. Oh gosh.
Brutal.
Yeah, and even like throughout the whole season, like now, like in life now, it like finally feels like we can like live again and like do like normal things and socialize, and like yes, COVID's still a thing, but like we're able to like. Like be a little more normalized, but like going into the season, my last season, it was just like the testing, and then like other teams, and we couldn't like be around our families, and it was just so weird. And then actually going into conference, I was exposed to COVID.
Oh, no.
And I was outside of my window, like 150-day window. We didn't have to get tested. If you got COVID within that window, you didn't have to get tested.
Oh, wow.
And so I was outside of that window.
Okay.
And then I was exposed. And somehow or another, the other teams at in our conference, heard about me being exposed. And then my trainer told me if I tested negative for 5 days, like I'd probably be able to play. And then I did that. And then the committee for the conference had to like approve me playing.
Gosh.
And into the story, the bottom line was that I didn't have COVID and I didn't get to play in conference.
Oh my God.
Which
I
was
didn't know you didn't get to
super, yeah, it was super, it was super sad.
Because someone was finally maybe going to beat FSU.
Maybe.
Florida State's won 5 straight years.
Yeah. So that was rough.
And you guys were kicking ass that year, too.
Yeah. So, but anyways.
But that team was good. It had to have been fun to be part of a team that was historic. I mean, that's the best team in LSU history.
It was so awesome.
You guys were so good.
So awesome.
Had such a barn burner with UCLA. And was that the semis or the quarters?
What was it?
The national championships. It would have been...
No, semis.
Semis, yeah.
Semis. So long ago, can't even remember yesterday, so...
You played a lot of volleyball.
Yeah, played a lot of volleyball since then. So, but yeah, no, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when I decided. Oh, not when I decided to move to California, but it kind of all ties together. So at nationals, right after we just lost to UCLA, I'm like bawling my eyes out. I'm finally done with LSU. Like happy but sad, but like just like overwhelmed with emotions. And I'm like talking to my parents, and then all of a sudden Laurel Weaver, USC's volunteer coach, my roommate now, she comes up and comes up to us, and I'm like, I'm just like crying. She's like, hey, like I'm Laurel. I'm a professional beach volleyball player. Like I've been scouting you all year. I really like the way you play. Like, would you be open to coming to California and like training and playing with me sometime? And I was like, okay. Like, okay.
She didn't even wait for the emotions. She's like, someone else is going to poach her. I'm going in now.
Yeah, basically. And so that's kind of how like the whole idea of coming out to California, I had kind of been talking about it before then with my teammate Claire Coppola. Mm-hmm. She was just like, dude, this would be awesome. Like, you should go and do it if you want to play professionally. Her family, her coach back home in Arizona, like, they were all kind of talking to me about it. Like, this is how you're going to be successful. If you want to actually take it seriously, you need to go to California. And I was like, I don't really know about that. And then when Laurel came up to me, it was kind of like a full circle type of thing where I'm like, okay, like, maybe I need to go to California. Like, this sounds legit. Like, this is where the honey hole is of beach volleyball. Like, this is where all the pros are at. And, like, it kind of like got the wheels spinning, and so stayed connected with her through the summer, and then we decided to play in Manhattan, AVP, and then when I was out here, I stayed with her, and then she kind of was like, hey, like we have this room open, like if you would want to come, and so yeah, it kind of all just like worked out and fell into place.
The beach just. Things work out on the beach in the strangest ways.
Just flow.
Like, it's not a sport for planners.
And everyone just gravitates somehow towards, like, the South Bay, Los Angeles.
Yep.
It just ends up here.
Finds housing as close to the beach as you possibly can. It's like, how close can you get to north of Hermosa Pier?
Yeah. Yep.
As long as you're west of the Pacific Coast Highway, you're in good shape.
Yeah. You're doing all right.
Yeah. So Ken Steffes, he cracks me up. He lives in Pacific Palisades, and he calls the South Bay the goo.
The goo.
He's like, once you're in the goo, you're stuck in the goo.
It's so true.
I was like, you're so right.
That's a good way to put it. I'm in the goo deep.
I was talking to him yesterday.
I want to get out, but I can't.
He's like, how's life in the goo? I was like, well, I don't have a car. He goes, oh, you're really stuck in the goo. It's so funny.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Do you have any culture shock when you came out here? When you moved here, or was it pretty good?
Honestly, not really. I mean, people in the South are, like, super, like, nice and, like, caring and just, like, that type of stuff. But I haven't really felt like the people have been that different. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, in the volleyball community. I feel like a lot of people do want to, like, support you and, like, help you out. And I think one of the biggest people that was, like, super like helpful when I got here was obviously Laurel and then Gina Urango.
Okay.
So I had met Gina actually at LSU through Benny.
Yeah.
When they
She's
played
great.
together. Yeah, I love Benny. They actually had stopped in, I think, for an event in New Orleans, but Benny came by the indoor. She came and saw the indoor team at LSU, and that's when I was on the team, and so I met her then, and then kind of not really stayed connected, but followed them on social media, and then talked to Gina more in New Orleans about how like maybe moving out to California, and so I mean, she was super helpful like with trainings and like inviting me to things like social things, and like I played fours with them one afternoon with like all of the like some of the pro girls, which was like nice because like, you know, like looking back, like I like watched and like followed all these like professional players, right? Like Kelly Reeves and you know, like all of those people, and then like being able to come out here and then like meeting everyone, it's just like, oh my God, like, you know, like a little kid again. But then like now it's like, holy crap, like I'm like,
this is my group.
I'm like a pro too. I'm like in this friend group, like I'm here. She was super helpful when I came out here. And then just like meeting everyone in the community, like I've felt a lot of love and support, and it's been awesome. I think the food's healthier here.
Oh, for sure.
Clearly.
Just a little.
Clearly.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little bit, but hey, it's good to go back home and, you know, get some home cooking. I miss my mom's cooking, but
What are those donuts called?
beignets.
Beignets, yeah.
Hey, you're gonna have to get some of those, huh?
I went on a bachelor party one night.
Oh, man.
I literally just flew in for the night.
For the night.
And then in the morning, beignets and bailed. I'm pretty sure we had like alligator and some stew.
Maybe a hangover and
I think it was.
beignets.
It was absolutely. But it was literally land
party, go to Bourbon.
Yeah, meet them at Bourbon Street. Walk in by myself, and dude, basically, you know how the ladies are giving out shots, and
Yeah,
she just shoved the shot in my mouth right away.
And you don't know what.
Immediately.
And then did a little
Immediately.
dance, and I was like, "Oh my god, what's
going on?
Did I just get raped? What just happened?" All right, I'm here.
Yeah, New Orleans is a party.
It was fun.
New Orleans is a party.
It didn't let the stories down. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It
No,
lives
it's
up
fun.
to the hype.
It's fun.
Because that's where, Coconut was where I played a lot when I first started learning to play. And we, of course, didn't take the volleyball all that seriously. We pretended that we did. We'd hit Bourbon all the time when we went to Coconut. I was like, this place is just a zoo.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's a zoo. It's
How
a
can
zoo,
you
all
walk
right.
down the street with a 5-foot-tall drink?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Grenades, hand grenades, hurricanes, all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's funny like hearing younger athletes come out to the pro game and like to this community because like I've been in it so long I don't even like think twice. Like, oh, you're a young player. Like the young players out here, like, cool. Like, yeah, you're part of the beach volleyball group. Like, this is what we do.
Super nice.
But you forget like when you're younger, you're like, oh my god, like there's the pros.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Should I hang out with them? Like, and we're all just like, yeah, what? I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
you're a
be my
volleyball player
friend.
too, right?
Be my friend.
Yeah, we're all, No, you think like that people, if they have questions, they'll call you or like message you, and like that's not the case at all. Like younger athletes are like, I would never message them. I don't want to bother them, or like, that would be
everyone's
weird.
just people.
Yeah, no,
That's been the coolest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like realizing like we're all just people and like we're all just doing this because we love it and we want to play and like make a living and like we're all in the same boat. It's like comforting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of surprises me still that like more young athletes don't show up at the top pros practices. It's like, I mean, if you want to learn, that's the best place to do it. No one's going to kick you off. They're going to, if someone's sitting on the wall watching practice, they're going to come up to you at water break probably and say hi.
Yeah.
Most likely,
for
you know?
sure.
And then you're also listening to their coaches talk to them. You're watching them work on specific things. But I feel like it's from that perspective, for me, that's really easy to see.
Yeah.
Like if I had a kid, I'd be like, yeah, what are you doing? Just go watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But from the other side of it, I see that it's just like, that's not, no one wants to do that. Or like
hard
even
to do.
thinks, it's hard to do, yeah.
I think that's the cool thing though about our our sport specifically, beach volleyball, like, you know, you can't just go to professional basketball practice and sit there and watch the practice,
You
right?
can't watch Serena Williams if you're a tennis player.
Yeah.
And like go like take some social media and be like, get the F out of here. Like, what are you filming for? But you can watch Alex and April.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
you want.
really cool. At the same time, there are some creepy people, but that's okay.
Oh, for sure. Strand life is,
you know?
Strand life is gets weird for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's cool though.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So.
That's what, when I lived in Huntington, I used to like try to time my practices when Tremblay and Keenan were practicing and Casey and Jake were practicing. And I'd try to like take the court kind of next to them. So I would be there. And still like get to see what they were doing and just kind of be around them. But then I was like, I'm still playing. I was like, maybe Casey will see me hit one hard.
Right, yeah. Maybe he'll say something. If I can get this ball anywhere close to the pier.
He'd love that.
If I gotta go shag that ball all the way over there, I don't care, as long as it's by the court.
Yeah. I'm going to look for a ball that comes close and I'll go shag it.
Yeah, because I think that's a cool part. Because not only can younger athletes like come to a practice, you could set up directly next to them. Like everyone knows now that 16th Street is just where a lot of the pros practice, and so you could just
you can pop up an umbrella, put chairs down.
Yeah, you could literally
10 feet from the court, and the players would be stoked. Like I was stoked. This year, I feel like a few more times than often, like people are kind of coming around to actually watch. But then we played Qatar. It was like that was legit 20 people like fully set up and like hanging out around the court. It makes me feel good. You know, it's like, all right, we're making somewhat of an impact. We're entertaining today. It's not like a boring practice. We're like, I don't want to like F up. Like people are watching. Yeah. You know?
And they know where you're at. Like they know your court. Like they're like, okay, they're here this time, this day, every day, and we can go and watch. Like that's cool.
I've thought about that too. Like sometimes, like if I could pick a court, maybe I should like go to Manhattan Beach Pier every day. You know, so like everyone on the pier is watching you. They know they see you because there's people's routines are just right there. Like that would make sense to like build a fan base and get people. To watch.
Yeah, it's super inspiring.
But then again, I'm also like, we basically hide ourselves. We're like furthest from each pier.
Yeah, you are. Hidden.
And I also like that too, though, because like so many people want to talk and hey.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it is nice.
Wait till water break at least, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's less distracting.
It's a give and take. I don't know.
That's why when I walk to practice now, I used to enjoy the Strand Walk and saying hi to everyone. Now I walk on
it takes too long,
on the sidewalk, away from the Strand, just because I don't want to run into people.
Well, you're gonna get 10 minutes at Ed's for sure.
If you walk by Ed's, you're getting stopped.
So if I just at least cut around 16th, jump back in. It's funny, dude. There have been a couple times where I've cut back in at 21st, and there's been a ton of people playing for us, and I just reverse. I'm like, nope, turn around. Get back in and cut back in at like 27.
Yeah.
21st is on a Saturday. You're getting stuck there.
Oh, yeah.
I've had involuntary beers.
Yeah.
Because I'll go for a surf on the weekends a lot of the time, and usually it's around there. The further north you go, the better. So it's like a few streets north of here, and I end up walking by. Of course, the Taylors are always playing. I'm like, why do you guys like volleyball so much? Like, I'm like so stoked to not play this weekend.
So
but then like you
get like
5 beers like handed to you. I'm like, well, I wasn't trying to have a beer, but it is Saturday. I'm just like standing there in a wetsuit with a surfboard, and I'm there for like an hour all of a sudden.
It's the goo.
It's the
go. It's the go.
Sticky down here.
It's the go.
But what a great
just
problem.
Stuck.
People are like listening, like, wait, so what's the problem? You go for a surf on the weekend and then get handed beers with all your friends everywhere you go.
What's wrong with that?
All right, I'll shut up.
It is a cool life. Has been the move to California kind of what you envision?
Yeah, I think it's been better than what I've expected.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think moving out here, I know I wanted to play professional beach volleyball, and that was kind of like all I knew. I didn't know how I was going to do it, who I was going to do it with. Like, there was a lot of unknowns, which is kind of scary. Like, me and my dad literally loaded my stuff up in the car after Chicago and drove out here.
Sick.
And I moved in and like didn't know any, like I didn't know who I was going to train with, who I was going to play with, who was coaching me, like how I was going to make money. Like there was a lot of unknowns. Yeah. And so that was also my first move from home. right?
Okay.
I've lived in Louisiana like my whole life until now. So it was like a lot of big things.
For sure.
Right now I'm finally an adult after being in college for 7 years. And like having to like, okay, like it's time to,
You're gonna get a dorm named after you.
Yeah, right? I'm like, I should get like a crown or something for being the oldest player at LSU, right?
Where's my crown? You had your first international trips within, a few months of moving out?
Yeah, so I
2 weeks?
moved out in September. End of September. So I've been out here for October, December, a couple months. Yeah. 6 months.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's been awesome. It's definitely, when people ask me, I usually say it was like the best decision I've made so far for my volleyball career. Yeah. So I've been super excited to be out here, and I've had a lot of good opportunity already, just with like jobs, with practices. So like y'all were talking about like the younger people playing with like the pros already, and like me and Savvy have actually been super like blessed to be able to go and like train with Kelly and Betsy, Sarah and Therese. We actually trained today against Sarah Hughes and Kelly. Nice. So it's been like really cool to like go and like experience, okay, this is like what a structured professional practice looks like with a coach, and like it's super dialed in. What else?
The energy of it, all that,
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I've loved it. I love the people. I love the community. I mean, it's been awesome. I'm sure my family is sad that I'm not home, and you know they're figuring that out. But I know they're super proud and super excited for the season. And
for sure.
Yeah, my parents actually came to Panama, which is awesome. They're super big supporters of my career, and while I was at LSU, like they traveled like the whole world watching me play, and so it was really cool to have them in Panama, and then they're headed out to Austin next weekend. And
sweet.
I also have my my high school coach, who I'm super close with. She's coming out to Austin, and
nice.
Yeah, it'll be really
They're
good.
not mad. Now they have a bunch of excuses to go on vacation.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guess we gotta go.
Definitely.
Maybe we should probably go back to LA now.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then they're gonna come internationally.
What you'll find is that your family will definitely miss you.
Yeah.
But they will also love living vicariously through you at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because you're going to Australia, you're going to Brazil. Like, you'll return to LSU or to Baton Rouge, and it'll just be like, you're this exotic world traveling creature.
Everyone back home is like, I'm like, everyone back home probably thinks I'm crazy. Like, you know, because like I grew up in this small town, and like a lot of people from like my high school and like people I graduated with, they like, you know, got married, they're already having kids, and they're like settled down in Santa Monica, and I'm like over here like traveling the world, just playing volleyball, like living this like the sweetest life ever, and they're just like, what's Toni doing over there? Like, like what's going on? But yeah, it's been really cool. I've felt a lot of love and support from back home, which is awesome. So
sounds like it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see New Orleans. Hopefully we can play in it. But like the fan base show up for you guys.
Oh yeah,
and
it's gonna be legit. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
I actually want to play in it and draw Evan, and just actually I won't draw him there though, because we're not the 1 seed anymore, right? Who knows?
Yeah,
but
points.
Don't worry about those points. Trevor's got it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it'll be fun to see. It's always fun when like a crowd gathers around the underdogs.
Yeah, definitely.
It's terrible when you're the top seed. You're like,
oh, definitely.
I'm the 1 seed right now. I have everything to lose, nothing to gain. I just supposed to win, and the whole crowd's behind me, like, or not behind me.
Yeah,
it would be. It'll be New Orleans will be a fun atmosphere though.
Yeah, it will.
Hopefully, you'll be in Ostrava, but if it gets canceled, it's a good alternative.
Right. Yeah.
Fun one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on for you, and I was just thinking too, like, we haven't had a AVP season in a while, and that's like a little traveling circus in itself with the whole. I don't know if we have player parties this year anymore.
That could be fun.
So the tour series, what happens? What generally happens?
It's too fun though. Let's warn you.
Yeah, what generally
that's
happens
a scene,
that,
and it's too fun.
That's too fun.
Yeah, don't get sucked into it. When you're at the parties, enjoy it, but just know that it's goo.
Don't let the goo get
Don't
you.
let the goo get me. Run.
It's a whole nother.
Run.
It's like, I'm gonna be a professional partier / volleyball player. This is great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Don't get stuck in that goo. Only Taylor can do both.
Him and Rosie are one
Only
of a
him
kind.
and Rosie. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta learn from the best.
But it's fun. I mean, how fun is a whole AVP season where we're all traveling together
It's
and
amazing.
hopefully not partying on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're partying on Sundays.
Well, yeah. That's a whole nother thing you learn. You're like,
Fun
yeah, I
thing.
won my first tournament. Yeah, get on a plane and fly to Russia.
Good run.
You're like, well, how do I celebrate? It's like, you can have wine by yourself
Yeah.
on a 16-hour flight.
On the flight, yeah.
Wait, what? That's what I did. My first win was Milwaukee. I actually didn't have to go home, but my flight was right after. So
It
I
was
was like,
literally
can
left.
someone
Yeah.
give me a ride? And then I get to the airport and like sit on the plane. I'm like,
You're like, oh my God, I
"Oh,
just did this.
This sucks. Like, I pictured this my whole life as going to be the biggest rager when I won. Finally won an AVP, and then I'm just like sitting on the plane alone. And then I get back at like midnight,
Yeah.
and Gabby's like, "Yay!" I was like, "This sucks." Like, can we like do anything? I like went back to the house and just like chugged a beer by myself. She's like, "Well, I'm going to sleep." I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, all right, well, I guess we'll have to win another one."
Hey, you made up for Manhattan
Was
last
it
year.
Manhattan treated you guys?
Manhattan was
Yeah.
that was a fun
Yeah.
sight. Getting carried into
I
Shellbacks.
saw, that's what I was going to say. That was the coolest thing
That was
ever.
a bucket lister right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That
cool.
was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
That
Fanta
was like
shot.
7 years later. Yeah.
You were due
That
for a
was
good
sick.
Sally.
Yeah, exactly. Finally. Oh man. But yeah, no, we got some fun times ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited for you, Tom.
Super pumped.
Great start to the
Heck yeah.
season.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited to watch you.
And you're rolling around with podcast's very own Savvy.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you're like part of the podcast fam.
You
I'm
are.
basically on the
Make
SANDCAST
sure
now,
you
everyone.
win. Make sure you win for the podcast family.
Exactly.
Deal. You got it.
Done.
There we go.
It's done.
And if you want some merch,
You want some
I
merch?
just
We
got
got
a
these
new
new.
shirt.
Hey.
I got my new shirt. This
I
one's
love
blue.
merch.
I just got a long
I need new.
sleeve.
I need new
merch.com.
clothes. All I do is
All
rep.
LSU.
All I do is rep LSU.
I'll see. We can get
I need
you.
new- I need new
we'll get you a
merch.
purple SANDCAST shirt.
Okay, deal.
So it'd be a good
Ooh.
combo for you.
Deal.
I like that.
Deal.
Perfect.
And we'll get. Actually, we
I
can
might-
all use purple ones.
I
Ravens,
need one.
Vikings, LSU.
Oh,
See?
that's a good point. Speaking of which, my Vikings might be on the clock right now.
They're on the clock.
Yeah.
And Tom, we've had you here. This has been a fun little hour 10.
Wow, that
Ooh.
went quick. Good job.
Good.
Great job, Tom.
Good job, team.
Well done.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on, Tom.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Shoots.
Shoots.
Peace.